if you wants to come into this field, this is a field where you have to learn every single minute,
True.
you know, because that's the only way you can survive and you can excel.
Right.
There is no shortcut for anything. Here also, there is no shortcut. It's a very glamorous field. Yeah, I understand. But this glamour comes with a lot of responsibility and a lot of challenges as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Panisha Puri. Welcome back to our channel Xaphal, and today we have with us Mr. Divya Prakash, who has 20 plus years of experience as a creative director. If you would like to get an insight about the field, do watch this video.
So myself, Divya Prakash, I'm an international filmmaker. I'm also a film director, writer, lecturer, trainer. So wearing many hats in my 2 decades of experience in international media. And currently I'm working as a creative director with a brand like Gionee, Sansui, and all those other brands which I'm handling. And I am taking care of all those branding solutions. And I'm also responsible for all those packaging and pre and post productions, advertising, social media. So, in my past 2 decades of my journey, I have coming through a long way from ancient media to now the digital media. So, I've seen the transformation in India, how it came and how it's going now. So that's so far so good in my journey.
So far, your profile is like a dream job for many of the students who are watching our show and would like to become director and would like to write.
So long back, it's nothing like that. Now, what we are seeing right now, and as you can see that everybody is talking about mobile and everybody is talking about digital media and all.
Right.
So it was very challenging on that time that I don't have any much clue that what is graphics or animation or film or whatever I'm going to do. I don't know. So my friend was working here in Delhi, and he introduced me to this digital medium. And since then, I started developing my interest into it, this one in film, design, graphics, art, culture, and all those things. Unfortunately, I'm a self-made filmmaker, and I have never been to any college or institute or design schools for that matter. And I'm still learning since 2 decades, more than 2 decades. I'm still learning, and I think that oh my God, there are so many things to do, and I definitely I love my job.
So today it become very competitive for the students to get into a field. So can you suggest a course like what they can, where they can start their journey as a director or a script writer?
Being creative is not enough. It's like that. Yeah, it's like you want to fight, but you need a gun.
Right.
It's very simple as that. To equipped with those kind of weapon where you can go and slash your enemies is very important, right? So in that matter, these colleges, institutes, and various other online, offline media is going to definitely help them out.
Talking about your first job, how challenging it was and what are the learnings?
Well, it was very challenging. I joined as a freelancer of a newspaper, Hindustan, because I am from Bihar. But my job was manual setting all those typography and setting all those plates, colors, CMYK, and all those things. So it was very interesting though, and it was very challenging for newcomers like me because it takes a lot of time to understand the psychic of colors to matching those colors.
Right.
So challenging in terms of typesetting and all those things because it's all done by manually on that time. Although after doing this job, I got to know that okay, there are various softwares are there, Quark Express and any other softwares are there, which they do typesetting and newspress and all those things. Because formerly it was a newspaper. I was very fortunate to learn offline and online things equally, and that way I think myself that I'm a very fortunate person on that time.
So after your first job, you gained some experience, and what was the time you decide that you want to switch?
Okay, so I joined as a graphic designer. My career started with a graphic designer, and then I shifted to Delhi, and I started looking for a job. I started working as a freelancer because that was the only way which I resourced myself in and equipped myself as well, because I was not very much aware about the other digital medium. Like I'm also award-winning video editor as well,
Oh,
so I
great.
was not yeah, so I was not aware of it, that okay, editing is also there are the different scopes are there. I was only aware of that because I was a graphic designer, so I had a clue that okay, I'm going to do some kind of designing or something like that. But fortunately I got an opportunity to work with Doordarshan, and I joined them as an intern over there, and working with 5 years with them, I ended myself the packaging head over there. So I was the packaging it for DDS Sports, and I was taking care of broadcast medium and all.
I think
So
working with Doordarshan is a government thing. It's not a.
yeah, it was government thing, but they are no more into hiring permanent
Yes,
people.
yes.
So
It have
they do
contract.
contract based. Yeah. So I was also one of them. So my journey actually starts from there, and I learned. Then I learned screenplay over there, scripting over there, because the legendary people are working in that Doordarshan, and I was very fortunate enough to meet them and to learn them.
How you get
You
into
know,
Doordarshan?
well, it was one of my friend was working with them, and he asked me because they were looking for a volunteer Commonwealth game designer.
Okay.
It's a night shift job. You have to observe, so you have to observe a lot because this world is beautiful. Everything is so colorful.
True.
So what color you are picking is all from your eyes. I mean, nothing can be better than your eyes. So this
Right.
whole world is your canvas. So after working with graphics, I got key extension for my that job because that Commonwealth game got over. So I got an extension, and then I met good people out there, and they helped me. Ki, Chalo, why don't you do this also? You have good eye and all. So I started working on editing. So there I learned editing as well. And then
Which software
there
you
was
use
one.
back then? Which softwares you
Back then I was using on that time, because Doordarshan was using DPS Velocity on that time, primarily
Yes,
used
yes.
for news cutting and all. Yeah. But now I am versed with all editing software which are used in the world. So I know
Adobe
all those
Premiere
software.
or
Yeah, Adobe Premiere. I am a certified trainer for Adobe as well.
wait.
So yeah, so then there I learned Adobe Premiere, Velocity, then FCP came, Apple FCP there. Then I learned Avid over there.
So after 5 years of experience you had with the Doordarshan, what was your
Yeah.
next step? What was your next step?
Okay, so I was very fortunate again here. So while I was working with Doordarshan, I got an opportunity to work with first ever Afghani serial in Afghanistan.
Oh,
So it was, yeah, so it was a French media collaboration with NAPWA, Next Action Plan for Women, America. So what they were doing is they were looking for some talented people from India and all across the world, not only India. So I was the one of the few chosen one who got selected for their serial.
so
The
how you
serial name
got
was
this lead?
Palwash.
You applied for that? How you got this lead?
Yeah, there was a advertising on newspaper,
Oh,
but that they are looking for some assistant director from India, and they were hiring few members across the globe because it's a very international project, and they were looking for some more talented person out there. So I met with them, and I did this interviews, and I have gone through few you know different parameters according to them, and various kind of typefaces for that job actually. So I got selected, and then I went to Afghanistan for a year. It was a 1 year contract, and so it was a very challenging job again, because the serial was in Dari. I don't have any clue what is Dari is all about, and even not in English as well, and not in Hindi to hai, absolutely not. So yeah, it's basically it's a Dari language is like a kind of a Farsi language actually.
Right.
So yeah, but as we all know that design, graphics, or medium or art have no language barrier.
True.
So yeah, it was a great to work with those people because I was working with Reza Dikati. Reza Dikati is one of the legendary photographer who in Paris, and I was working with Aina Media, which again the headquarter is in Paris. So yeah, it was a great journey to work with European people out there.
Sometimes when we got some opportunity, so we just limit ourselves with the duties and the responsibility we are handling right now. But you took the challenge positively, and you did your best, and that gave you that immense experience that helped you to grow in your professional life. So after doing that show, what was the next step you took to, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your box, and to do something next challenging? Because you are a creative person, you need creativity every time.
When you stick to a plan like a job or something like that 24/7, you get tight. I don't want to type myself. So in my most of my career is I had working as a graphic designer only, but took it as a challenge, and then I shifted myself to broadcast, film, direction, screenplays, even script writing as well. I started writing my own documentary scripts and all. So that way I explored myself because when you stick to one plan, I don't say that this is a bad idea that if you are trying to do or excel in that particular segment or genre, it's fine. But I was a very curious person and I wanted to explore myself in various ways. As I can say that I started with graphics. So I wanted to know all set of channel that what media consists of.
Right.
So that's what once I completed my graphics things, I wanted to shift into broadcast. Then I shifted to broadcast. Then I shifted to film.
So how one can attain perfection in a particular work? Like you got award for your work. So how you attain that perfection?
You have to live with it
Right.
because until unless if you are not enjoying your job, how can you do the justice to your work? I don't think so. But whether you are cleaning your house, if you are not giving your heart out of it, I don't think that you are going to perform well.
So what are your day-to-day activities may include?
So I keep listening between these all team members in my day to day, and I'm also responsible for producing, and I'm also responsible for designing them their branding solutions, packaging or collaterals or all sort of marketing solutions.
Like you
So that way I keep engage myself apart from keeping great eye on other mediums and across the globe as well. So I read books, magazines. I keep learning from blogs as well because this world is full of great designers. If you wants to come into this field, this is a field where you have to learn every single minute,
true.
you know, because that's the only way you can survive and you can excel.
Right.
There is no shortcut for anything. Here also, there is no shortcut. It's a very glamorous field. Yeah, I understand. But this glamour comes with a lot of responsibility and a lot of challenges as well.
Direction looks very easy from the outside, where people might think that you just need to give directions and how the things work. So how exactly it is?
Well, direction is like a leader. Being a director, it's like a leader to who is handling each and every aspect of filmmaking
Right.
or any project. You know? So
True.
that's a very challenging part that you have a deadline, you have a budget, you have certain execution plan you have to do, and you have to fulfill the dreams as well, and you have to make things perfect. It's not only one man job, you have to keep talking with your crew member that okay, I want this, I want that. If it is a cinematographer job, you have to ask that okay, how I'm going to perform this scene and how convenient you are going to perform, what are the challenges which we are going to face, and how we are going to overcome out of it.
Being a director, you gain that experience of cinematography and editing and everything before getting into direction, or you eventually learn more about it later?
Well, to be very frank, as I told you that I have learned everything step by step, and I have learned everything by time. But as nobody can learn everything. Well, I'm not a cinematographer. I'm I'm a director. Okay, so I know the output, or I know what is going to be. I know what I want, but when we talk about cinematography, I don't have much idea about cinematography because I'm not a cinematographer. Cinematography is a part of it actually.
Right.
So like that, there are so many segments out there like lighting, there is makeup, dress, choreography, and everything. So people out there are there. But what you have to do is you have to understand until unless you have a particular clue about it, that how I'm going to perform this song, or how I'm going to ask my sound guy to create the sound for me is important now. So though I'm not a sound guy, I don't know how to create music, but I have a sense of music. So being a director, you have to know each and every aspect of filmmaking.
As you had mentioned about that, you was working as a freelancer. So tell me about how you got that leads.
Okay. So in my time, it was very challenging to get lead, and mostly leads comes from lead. So, peers to peers things, because, there was no advertising for media as such. Right now, if you'll see, there are LinkedIn, there are thousand other blogs out there, you know, there are different channels out there. Even people post it on WhatsApp or
On Facebook.
Facebook or so they advertise themselves that I need a designer, I need a director or whatsoever. On that time, it was nothing like that. We have certain limitations on that time, but now it's very fortunate that we have everything on board. LinkedIn, you can find millions of job out there. So you can try over there. There are thousands of other sites and apps are also there where you can go and you can put yourself, broadcast your projects over there, and they will keep picking you. If you are good enough, they will pick you.
So
You
it's important
negotiate
to
with
have
them.
your samples before
Yes.
applying. You just need to create your samples and then you.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Here comes the college or the university or the institutes where you are going to work. You have to make your own portfolio.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights with us. That might be helpful for the students who are watching our show and would like to make their career in the same field that you are in. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for allowing me to join here.